first multiple finalists of the season so far, up against Dirk van Duijvenbode, who came through a 13-leg thriller to defeat Joe Cullen with a 100 average. Things were a little bit more serene for the man from Devon, coming through a clash with Dave Chisnall by 7 legs to 4. It was his lowest average of the day, but at 96, that's some going. 105, a couple of 103s sprinkled in as well. So this one, without wanting to put too much of a jinx on it, Chris Murphy, should be an absolute belter between two of the biggest scorers in the game.
Yeah, and they've had some absolute belters, haven't they? Both players producing fantastic stuff today. Previous meetings between the pair have thrown up some memorable matches. And I think, based on what, well, certainly I saw in the semi-final over on the other stream, when Dirk van Duijvenbode rattled in 9 maximums in a thriller against Joe Cullen, then we could be in for a treat to end the action for the weekend here in Barnsley.
22.
Yeah, that's exactly what we expect. Dirk van Duijvenbode is the biggest maximum
42.
hitter in the game. Ryan Searle not too far away as well, and when he's hitting tops with the regularity that he does when he's at his best, he's such a dangerous player. Ryan Searle did 84. Win Players' Championship 1, opening up the Pro Tour campaign last weekend with a win against Jamie Hughes. Dirk looking for his
38.
First one of the year. A few scruffy visits to open this first leg of the final. There's bound to be a few butterflies perhaps, even though these players are very much accustomed to reaching the latter stages of these Players' Championship events.
Yeah, van Duijvenbode,
41.
as you mentioned, his 180 prowess. He's hit 30 coming into this final, including 9 in that semi.
16.
The record in a Players' Championship event is 35, so keep an eye on that. Held by Jose de Sousa.
95.
Well, bearing in mind we could be going to 15 legs, you can back on that to be broken. Dirk needs tops, and he's not happy with something. Don't know whether the flight needed screwing in a bit. Maybe a bit of background noise affecting him.
20.
Yeah, he's not happy at all. You can see him looking around. It is a strange scenario. We'll talk more about it in a moment, because Ryan Searle could have rubbed salt into the wound there. 5. Has it just got to Dirk van Duijvenbode a little too much? Whatever the annoyance was, again, he's pointing. Not happy at all. And Ryan Searle is thinking, I'll take advantage, pal. If it's affecting you, I won't let it affect me. And now the referee is going to deal with whatever it is. So here in these Players' Championship events, of course, at the start of the day, there's 120 players in the tournament, plus each of them are allowed a guest. There's a little bit of a background noise, but as the day goes on, particularly on Sunday when everybody's going home, it is literally down to the 2 players in the booth, the referee and the officials and the people that are going to be putting away all the equipment at the end of it. Now, any noise can be heard, and obviously one was heard then, and he's done the right thing in asking the referee to go and sort it.
Well, it's incredible, really. You arrive at the venue, or we do, about an hour before all the games are starting. All the players are practicing. It's a very noisy, bustling venue with all the 128 players. I went down to go and get a drink when it was around about the last 16 stage, and you could hear a pin drop. And bearing in mind, it's a very big room as well. It's basically a big sports hall where the Players' Championships take place. It is quite eerie in a way, but I did say we'd have a high-quality contest, and a 23-dart opening leg was not in the thinking.
So maybe somebody did drop a pin.
140.
And it bothered DVD. Ryan Searle, though, took care of business in the end, didn't he? And we're back to business now. 140, 140, 180.
Let's just wipe the first leg from the record book, shall we? That's going to be a real outlier by the end of the game, I can assure you. We're not going to see any other 23 darters. You have heard it here first.
Well, he still doesn't look too happy, Dirk van Duijvenbode. And if you're Ryan Searle and you're keeping an eye on the expressions of your opponent, you must be thinking, you carry on, pal. You'll be upset, I've got you. Well, he might have got him following that 23 darter with a 10 dart leg.
180.
10.
20.
He might lose a leg on tops after 9, but that 180, the first of many in this match for Dirk van Duijvenbode, there's another guarantee, has helped him get to a finish, and it's a finish he's taken out.
Yeah, and it's a response that Dirk needed. It was interesting watching them, Dirk and Ryan, exchange a few words, just talking. Dirk, I think, pointing out why he felt distracted. He looked a little bit flustered.
140.
Ryan looked cool as a cucumber. He was just almost smiling and laughing, clearly not distracted by any background
85.
noise. But Dirk van Duijvenbode needed that, and now Ryan didn't quite yank the darts out as quickly as Dirk would like. That is one thing that I think at the moment is stopping Dirk from becoming a truly elite player. He's got all the talent in the world, but sometimes mentally, I think he can
43.
let things get the better of him. And he's a great front runner, but when he has to come from behind, there's almost a sense sometimes that he's resigned to defeat. He's had a few TV losses in particular that haven't reflected his true ability.
139.
Second leg in a row, we're on for a 10-darter, and this
shot.
time it's pinned. So in the space of 3 legs, we've had a 23-darter and a 10-darter.
137.
Yeah, because of that
140.
first leg, the stats at the end of this match might not paint the full picture, but it's now warming up to be in the final that it threatened to be based on what we've witnessed in the lead up to it. Ryan Searle, to be fair, wasn't at his brilliant best in that 7-4 win against Dave Chisnell, but didn't need to be. Dirk van Duijvenbode certainly was against Joe Cullen, and definitely was against Johnny Clayton earlier today, when DVD averaged 108, defying 104 average from his opponent.
140.
To win that 1-6-3.
Yeah, I watched Ryan's semi-final against Dave Chisnell, and in fairness, as he looks for the bull for a 1-2-4 and pins it, lovely response from Heavy Metal. Things really warming up now. I was going to make the point that Searle was helped quite considerably during that semi-final by the fact that Chisnell had probably at least half a dozen bounce-outs, fall-outs, whatever you want to call them. But sometimes as an opposition player, you could almost let that distract you because the player's having to pick the dart up. You're not as rhythmic as you'd like. But Ryan Searle, clearly someone who doesn't suffer fools. He just gets on with things. It's the 4th match of his I've covered today, and one of the few players I wouldn't complain about because I absolutely adore watching him.
97.
He's got one of the most watchable actions going, I think.
Dirk van Duijvenbode, just a magnet to that treble 20.
145.
Third 180 of the match, followed by a perfect 1-4-5 setup, which now leaves him on a potential 10-dart leg.
91.
Well, Dirk on his own throw going absolutely ballistic here.
27.
That's about as awkward as he could have left it from that position.
Do you think there was maybe an argument to bust, given how fast back Searle is? Double 9's no one's favourite, and if you go inside...
Yeah, possibly, or just hit one of those, a big one, and
40.
Leave himself on double 4 instead of 9. He does that now, and backs himself to hit it with 2 darts. Double 2
Game shot.
is located. And Dirk van Duijvenbode has the lead at 3-2.
14 points difference in the averages. These two separated in the overall order of merit, the 2-year system. Only 1 place between
91.
them. Dirk at number 13, Ryan number 14. If Ryan wins this, he's going to stay at 14. He's too far behind to climb further. He has jumped above Jose de Souza today, and establishing himself or keeping himself in the top 16 is what Searle will be looking to do, as well as scoop a major TV title. That's on the bucket list of both these players for 2023.
They're both beaten finalists already.
96.
They've had some belters themselves on the telly, haven't they, as well? The Players' Championship finals and the World Match Play last year. That match at the Players' Championship finals was actually on stage 2, and Dirk averaged 112 in that match. A 10-9 win, 112 across 19 legs of darts. I think the game of the year for me.
Yeah, it's easy to look back in hindsight, but that should have been a main stage game all over. They were going berserk in the scoring phase.
Well, it's Dirk that's going berserk here, and Ryan Searle isn't really living up to it. This is a big chance
58
for the Dutchman to get a break of throw.
180 does put considerable pressure on Dirk, considering that it's a simple 14 tops for Searle. This would be a big break. Double 16. And he gets it. Taking it out when he needs to. And Dirk van Duijvenbode, he's really taking charge of this final. He's halfway there now, first to 8 legs. Nothing that Ryan Searle could do. That 180 meant nout.
Yeah, the finishing in this game has been
59.
Kind of all or nothing, hasn't it? They've either been chasing doubles around or they've been taking out combinations. A 96 and that 110 for Dirk. That brilliant 1-2-4 bullseye out for Ryan Searle. Yet in other legs, been kind of going around the roundabout and not finding the exit.
134.
Mustard on the treble 20, not too bad on the treble 19 either.
57.
He's had a tough route to get to the final as Dirk wins against Mervyn King, Gert Nentjes, Callum Ridge, Johnny Clayton, Stephen Bunting
96.
and Joe Cullen. Mind you, all the routes to the finals are tough. Ryan Searle got the better of Thomas Scott, Graham Hall, James Way, Jeffrey Sparadans, Mike Kyvenhoven and Chizzy in the semi-final. 180 to leave, double 16. He could have thrown about 12 darts and they could have all landed in the treble 20, the amount of room that was left.
87.
Yeah, number 4 for the match. One away from equaling that record for the most in a day at Players' Championship events. Doesn't like the lie. Where's he going to go to throw this? Somewhere near Sheffield, it seems. And he's found it. Had to step right across the hockey to find a clear route to that target. And Dirk van Duijvenbode plants it in, no problem at all. And he's opening up a gap in this final. 96. A race to 8 legs. He's 3 up and 3 away.
Dirk won 2 of these titles last year. Searle was one of the opponents he beat at the Metrodome.
96.
And then in July, whitewashing Gabriel Clemens 8-0.
Yeah, it was a great final, that 8-7. Ryan Searle lost with an average of 104. All of their meetings last year, absolute belters. A match play match, which Dirk also won 10-8. Both players averaging in 3 figures in that one as well.
81.
Yeah, usually you'd look at these two and say that when they play each other, they bring the best out of one another. That's not quite the case so far, although that's a good riposte from Ryan Searle to leave the big fish after 9.
Yeah, great setup that, and it's something that actually, if you keep an eye on Dirk in this match, he hasn't been doing. He's been on certain finishes in the low 300s and not giving himself the best chance to finish. Because he hits so many treble 20s, it usually doesn't matter, but it is the kind of thing that come back to bite if you do it often.
96.
Tops for Searle.
25.
An uncharacteristic miss twice, and his favourite target. 1-8 though, he's no gimme. Oh, that's a shocker of a bounce out.
Well, it's some response to it. It was a very slow motion, delayed kind of comedy bounce out, that, wasn't it? Just wouldn't cling on.
Almost looked like CGI.
Can Ryan Searle can't take advantage, so no harm done.
You have to give full credit to Dirk, the fact that after that dart bounced out, whacked 2 in the treble 20. And that's another break of throw to go 6-2 up now. And Dirk van Duijvenbode running away with this final. Ryan Searle shakes the head. Missed opportunities, particularly when they come at tops. That could be his undoing at the end of this game.
Right, so landed that brilliant bullseye for the 1-2-4. That tied up this final at 2-2. It's been one-way traffic since
44.
then.
Yeah, it was a pretty madcap first leg, and Ryan Searle took it, but it's had the opposite effect on Dirk. It's spurred him on.
180.
Well, the other thing I think that he's done well there, because it clearly did distract him at the time.
119.
He's got it sorted straight away, didn't he, Dirk van Duijvenbode? Didn't wait till later in the match when it had become a real problem. He said, look, can you go and have a word with whatever's going on, to the referee,
92.
Luke Guest, and that was sorted straight away. So if there was a distraction, it only lasted for a few minutes rather than a few legs.
128.
Yeah, no evidence in the scoreline to suggest that it's put him off his rhythm.
132.
Well, thought he was going to go for the single 20 then, but he's feeling confident enough to mix things up on his doubles.
170.
What an unbelievable setup that is, so nonchalantly putting away the 170.
When you're ready, Dirk. He's ready,
Game
all right.
shot.
And he's now one away from the win in a match that has seen Dirk van Duijvenbode equal the record for maximums hits at a Players' Championship day. He's now on 35. So if this is to be the last leg, it is his last chance to beat that record held by Jose de Sousa.
99.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not aware of that, but if he does become aware of it, maybe he might let Ryan win a leg, give him an extra
46.
chance.
$58.
It's a good time of year to really start performing this, with first Euro Tour coming up next week, Minehead the week after. The random draw gives slightly lesser players, in terms of maybe not looking at the absolute elite of the game, but gives them an
57.
opportunity to go and maybe scoop the title. The home major for Searle.
60.
Things not clicking though in this final for him.
Things not clicking for me either, evidently. I just got to correct the record a little bit, because in fact the previous record was 34. So that maximum in the last leg from Dirk actually has broken the record already. You don't have to worry about it anymore, Dirk. Don't have to leave 162 so you can't win the leg and get another go in the next one.
81.
I hope Dan mentions it in the post-match interview, providing he wins.
100.
Yeah, it was something nice, and he has been the biggest 180 hitter over the last year or so. Dirk van Duijvenbode hits them more frequently than anybody else. To stay in it,
91.
and that could be that, the record breaker looking to take the title. Double top to do so. Double 10, and Dirk van Duijvenbode completes a record-breaking day with victory, with the title, with the prize money. An 8-2 success against Ryan Searle, in which he hit the 5 180s he needed to break the record for the most in a Players' Championship tournament. 35 today for Dirk van Duijvenbode, one more than that of Jose de Sousa, but more importantly, an 8-2 success over Ryan Searle to win Players' Championship 4. And Ryan Searle, well, a good result for him, having got through to the final, having won one last week, but it is the Dutchman who takes the prize, and he's talking to Dan Dawson.
That's for you.
Thank you.
We're talking into that one. We're talking into it, not walking into it. It's fine, you stay there. Dirk van Duijvenbode, another PDC title, your first of the year, and amazing stuff in the final, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I was on the top level of my focus that I possibly can reach. Obviously, I got a little bit distracted in the first leg, but I managed to get that away from me in my head. Forget about it, keep on pushing.
Well, straight after that, in fact, leg 2, 3, 4, 5, I think you were on 9 and 10, 11 darters in every single leg. That scoring power, I mean, you're the best in the game at doing that at the minute, aren't you?
No, I would never say that.
You're
but,
close.
Yeah, I'm with the best. Let's say it that way.
Well, 35 180s today. I believe that equals the record set by Dave Chisnell. So for a Players' Championship
I could have done
event.
more.
Well, you could have done more, but how do you feel about overall? Because there was one game where you were slightly off. It was a real battle against Stephen Bunting in the semi-finals?
No,
quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals.
But then the Joe Cullen game, absolutely incredible. I mean, there was loads of great stuff today.
Yeah, well, thanks.
What did it feel like to do it, Dirk?
To be fair, I was practicing yesterday. I thought I'm going to win it today, and I lost first round. And I just saw all my confidence dropped because lost against Connor Scott. I think he's a great guy in practice, but when I normally play him, he always was. Well, I beat him easily, and yesterday he gave me such a tough game. He was like, oh, I didn't expect this one, and I lost it, and I was like, here you go, big mouth, you think you win this day, and you lose first round. And obviously today I was just, well, I lost confidence. I was like, I think I had a tough board, tough draw. Mervyn King first round, Gert Nantje second round, Ken Rich third round. I was like, when I was looking at that, was like, well, after yesterday I thought, I'm happy with 1 or 2 wins. And then here we are, winning.
We had another game between you and Ryan Searle. You must love playing Ryan because you seem to play incredibly almost every single time you go up against him.
Yeah, but last week he beat me.
He did.
And he won on. And he won the event. Yeah, I love playing Ryan because he's in a nice tempo. He's very good, so you have to play well. But he does not do anything. The guy just throws darts as quick as possible and walks away as quick as possible. Don't try anything at all, and I just love his rhythm. I love the man as well, and he's a very nice bloke. And yeah, but I love playing him too. But didn't do it. I didn't love it last week. It was like, oh, I lost it, and 5-3 up, I think, and I was, oh, you won it. I was like, ah. So today I won it.
Well, the way that you two have been playing, not just at the start of this year, you've won a title, he's won a title, but last year as well, you had that incredible game in Minehead.
Yeah.
That it's the sort of, you played in the match play as well. I mean, you versus Ryan Searle could be, we could see that in the latter stages of a big TV tournament this year, that the way you've started, could we not?
Well, obviously it depends on the draws because we're not top players at the moment. So, I mean, if when you're top 4, top 8, it's only been quarterfinals, definitely. And now we're not in a position that we are. That's a definite later stage game. But I love playing him, and I think he's very, very good player. I just thought today, the second round, I just thought my first time I played him, and I was like, this guy is very good. And I told other people he's very good. I was like, he's the one with the win my World Masters thing. I was like, no, he's very good. And now look where he is and how good he is. So yeah, I just like him.
Obviously, the very, very top players are all, well, no, they're not all, but a lot of them, they're in the Premier League at the minute. But everybody else, their focus at the moment is probably Pro Tour, Euro Tour, UK Open. That you want to be on stage and winning titles now, isn't it? That's the next thing for you.
I don't matter where I win him, as long as I win him. To be fair, yeah. To be fair, I won this. I think it's my 4th Pro Tour title, and hopefully I'll win a Euro Tour title or a televised title this year or whenever. But yeah, obviously every win is. Well, I'm very happy with every win, but you just try to get the next step, because I think next step is Euro Tour or a televised event. But it's very hard. But I've been close once or twice, so yeah, we'll see.
Obviously, I said the same to Ryan after his win in the opening weekend. He's a player who every year he's picked up a title. You've been picking up titles. 3 consecutive years. There could be a year where it all just goes bang and you have a Johnny Clayton type year. That you've got that game, haven't you? If it's consistent enough, then it's not just one big title over there. It could be multiple titles. There seems to be a real opportunity in the world of darts now where Van Gerwen isn't winning everything. Peter Wright isn't winning everything.
He won a lot last year, didn't he?
He did win a lot last year, but he's not winning everything. They're still
true.
sharing titles around. We're seeing new winners. Ross Smith picking up the Euros. Danny Noppert, a new winner last year.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't look at other people. The only thing I look at, I want to improve every year. That's my main goal, and that doesn't go with titles. For me, I want to be better every year, and eventually, my main goal is to be world champion. But I'm far away from that in my head. But every year I want to increase my level, get better, get higher in the rankings, and hopefully, eventually, I'll become world champion. And if not, I tried at least. But I'm just trying to improve every year and just look critically at my game. What can I improve? And speak with people. What can I improve? And you try to improve that, and hopefully, eventually, well, you become world champion, or at least you tried the best you could.
Well, you say you're far away from that at the moment, but you're winning these quite regularly. You're throwing enormous averages, hitting more 180s than anybody. You're making major finals. You don't seem that far away from being able to do it.
Yeah, but that's what you're saying. My feeling is I'm far away.
So what does need to change?
World Championship is different. World Championship, to be fair, I don't think I'll be a world champion before I win a televised event. Because you need that much confidence to be so good on that stage, because it's that big, that much pressure. I think you need some confidence going in. And so hopefully I win a title and then I go in with a confidence boost.
Well, loads of opportunities coming up. Congratulations.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Dirk van Duijvenbode, a 4th PDC title for Dirk. Thank you very much. Also equaling the record for 180s. That's us done and dusted this weekend in Barnsley. The Euro Tour returns to next weekend. In fact, Kiel, a brand new venue for the Baltic Sea Darts Open. And then the following weekend, it will be the UK Open. That man will be one of them to beat, as will Ryan Searle, a beaten finalist. But he's already picked up a title this year. Keep an eye on them. They went to Minehead and played a cracker. He played a cracker here today. Cheers.